70 to 80, which is a lot better than 30, and the difference between the settings isn't even drastic by a long shot. Although GTA 5 is unable to reach 144 FPS at 1440p, it still does hold up a very smooth frame rate at over 100 FPS on average, which I doubt anyone will cry over. Unfortunate but predicted. Our third and final game is Counter-Strike Go. This is the most intensive game that I have, boasting all new 3D rendered environments, incredibly detailed 480p textures, and character models so real they will literally try to blow your head off. Nah, but for real. We all know what the result is going to be. I uncapped the frame rate because why not, and completely maxed it out at 1440p, and our minimum FPS was 235. Our average was 350 and our max was 487. Yeah, I can safely say the GTX 1080 can run Counter-Strike Go at over 144 FPS. 1440p is no slouch. It is significantly harder to run than 1080p and nowhere near as hard to run as 4K, which is why it's my sweet spot resolution. Support desktop-wise and game-wise is fantastic, and performance remains within realistic boundaries without having to think, maybe next year's top card will be the one to get 60 FPS and everything. The reason the choice of games are limited are because we have one casual FPS game that's semi-easy to run, one third-person game that's more intensive to run, and finally one competitive FPS game that is pips to run. Not only is it because these games cover the three areas of FPS that most games target, but also because I have a whole GTX 1080 review where I go more in depth on everything, so if you want to see the performance of more games on the 1080, click right here or go to the link in the video description. You know the tribe benefit system I was talking about earlier? Yeah, well you made it. The indicating word is daddy. Enter that in the comments below.
Swift and silent.
Greetings everyone, my name's Dom and today I am back. I'm back in my room, I'm back in England after about 10 days of moving around Europe, in various different countries, seeing World War II sites. Now my original plan was to also see World War I sites, but unfortunately we didn't get time for that, which is kind of a shame because I wanted to learn a bit more about World War I before jumping into Battlefield 1, but I guess we'll have to save that for next summer. So anyway, I've been gone for a little while, and I came back actually a couple days ago, but I had a bit of a cold when I came back, so I just wanted a bit of time for my voice to recover and for me to rest up from all the travelling we've been doing before I started to make videos again. And it is really good to be back. It's really good to be back. I'm back and I am tasked with so many things to take care of, and it's all a bit overwhelming. I'm trying to get through them and I'm trying to deliver as good of...
That's it.
You know, I don't actually really know what I am doing, but I'm going to try my best. That was weird. Dark side. So yeah, I'm back. Many stuffs has been going on. When I got back, I had a sort of epiphany. I looked down at my GTX 1080 and I looked at my bank account, and my bank account was a bit low and my GTX 1080 was, well, the GTX 1080, and the reason for my bank account was a bit low. And I thought for a moment, what if I sell my GTX 1080, my bank account will then go back up, and then I can buy other stuff and my bank account will go down again, because that's sort of like the circle of trite. That's what I like to do. I like to buy stuff and then sell stuff and buy more stuff. So it got me thinking, what other stuff do I actually need to buy? How will I spend the money? And I spent like a whole day while I was ill in my room just thinking about what I could possibly spend my money on. Now initially I thought, you know what, I want to get that monitor that I've always wanted, the Acer X34. And then I thought, hold on, but I also really want a TV. You see, my setup, although nearly complete, is missing just a few things. It's missing the new microphone. I currently have the Rode NT USB. It's missing a new monitor, and finally it's missing a 4K smart TV, which I just want to use, you know, when I'm lying in bed as a sort of entertainment setup, and for when friends come over so we can just play Xbox. Now, obviously I can't get the Xbox yet because, actually no, the Xbox One S is out, but it's a little bit pricey at the moment, and I think I might wait for it to go down. And I'm not going to be doing any Xbox gaming anytime soon. And I'm just okay with waiting, to be honest, because I got my PC and a 10 meter, 15 meter HDMI cable, which is going to wrap around my room and plug into the TV, which is going in that corner over there. So all's good on that front. Now, the plan that I had was to initially sell my XB270HU, and I might still do that, but there is another way. So what I was thinking of doing was just selling my BenQ monitor, my 1080p one, getting rid of that, yeah, and then just putting the Acer X34 next to it. I really like the idea of just one single monitor with the two speakers, two studio monitors either side of it, because these are really tall, so it's kind of hard to do it with if you have multi-monitor setups, especially if you have like an ultra-wide and a normal monitor. It can get really, really hard to place these speakers because the cables are hardwired into them, and they're not that long, they're only about 2 meters, which kind of sucks. So yeah, I'm left wondering whether I should go for one monitor or just two, but if I went for two then I'd have to save up for a while. But that's by the by. What I've decided to do in the end is leave the monitors to themselves for a bit, so I can just have them play the game and see if I'd actually miss 144Hz gaming compared to just 100Hz gaming, which is a bit annoying. So yeah, I'm leaving the monitors to themselves and I'm going to focus on the TV bit. That's when I sold my GTX 1080. So currently I have it in here, but it's sold and I'm going to be shipping it off real soon. My dad's going to come over later and he's going to give me some boxing for it. However, other things are fine. Lucky cunt. And all's going to be well and good because I'm going to have 700 quid in my bank account to play with. Yeah, I sold it for 700 quid. Those cards, they are, it went like immediately. I put it up and it went the same day. Free. So what I've decided on is buying a GTX 1070 and a 4K TV. But because the GTX 1070 is already 300 quid, I only have about 400 quid to play with. And so the budget can get a bit tight. I either have a choice between a 50-inch Hisense TV with fairly high input latency, so it's not going to be the best for gaming. It's not going to be like really bad, but it's not going to be the best. So I could get a 50-inch 4K smart TV, or I could get a much more better, much more refined, smaller 40-inch 4K TV. Has much better smart features, has that nano quantum dot crystal technology or something, pure color, HDR, all that stuff. And it's like a little bit more expensive, but it has much lower input latency. But the only con is that it's 40-inch and not 50-inch. Now I have a relatively small room anyway, so I'm thinking just fuck it and get the 40-inch. But it's, I don't know, it's annoying because 50-inch looks really, really nice, and my brother has a 50-inch in his room. I just get really jealous really easily, and it's not a nice feeling. I want to have the best, although technically I would have a better TV than you know, I say I want the best stuff, which is the exact same reason why I sold my GTX 1080 and got my 1070. It seems a bit silly, and a lot of people don't really agree with stuff I'm doing, like with downgrading my GPU, but oh well. Especially because, like, I've kind of, if I'm going to be gaming at 3440 by 1440 and holding a 100Hz refresh rate, I would kind of want the most powerful GPU that you can get. Not the new Titan XP, that's just way out my price range. And I would never really recommend that anyway to anyone, even if you are a video creator. It's just silly. So I think you guys should tell me what I should do. I mean, I've already sold my GPU, so you can't really inform me on that. But I want to know whether I should go for a 50-inch Hisense panel but with bad input latency, or whether I should go for this Samsung KU6400, which is smaller, but everything else in it is just so much better. But another thing did just come up. I came up and I brought up some bangers and mash and also some tea, which is now empty. And I looked at my emails because it popped up on my phone, and I was wondering, sales and questions? That was a bit weird. I didn't buy anything yet. So I opened up this email, and a few days ago I reached out to AvaMedia because of their new capture card, which is capable of raw, lossless 4K recording at 60 FPS. Which is crazy, because to record at 4K 60 FPS, you need something like a PCIe SSD to do it on software, and I know a lot of you are going to be shouting out, oh, Shadowplay can do it. Yeah, Shadowplay can technically record at 4K and 60, but the thing with Shadowplay is it only records to one audio track, and the audio really isn't high quality. It sounds disgusting. Like, Shadowplay really does ruin your microphone. It's horrible. And on top of that, the right FPS just isn't, it's not consistent. Like, it will say, even if you're getting 60 FPS in game or even higher, if you watch it back over, sure, some bits may look 60 FPS, but a lot of it is going to be waving between 40 to 50, and it can look jumpy and not smooth, and it can really degrade the viewing experience. So definitely Shadowplay for 4K 60 FPS recording on a budget, sure, yeah, it's good, but not if you're serious about 4K 60 FPS content, especially if you're going to be commentating over it. But anyway, going back to this new capture card that AvaMedia have made, I reached out to them and I said, I wasn't really expecting anything to come of it, but sure enough, a couple of days later, AvaMedia got back to me and they said, I'm not sure if I can actually read this out, but they said, thank you for contacting, I'm not actually quoting this, but thanks for contacting us. We'll talk to you in more detail about your sample. It'll be easier to contact you about this over this. So if I haven't just misunderstood them and they are actually willing to send me a review unit, which would be fantastic because it costs an arm and a leg, then that review will be up on the channel literally as soon as I receive that, because that's incredibly exciting. But anyway, that is about it in this little vlog thing right here. I'm back. I'm making videos. I actually had to sort of stop the video that I was making to make this video, and I was sort of halfway through making that. I mean, I'd done the script and I was just doing tests for certain games. That video is going to be whether the GTX 1080 is worth it for 1440p 144Hz gaming. Exciting times. Yeah. But anyway guys, if you did like this video, then do show your appreciation by tapping that like button. I love your face, and I will see you guys in the next one. Ta-ra.
Through here.
Triple kill.
Hey guys, this is AI Gaming 1776, and this is going to be my shorter review of the Acer XB270HU monitor. Now, it is marketed as a gaming monitor. It is 1440p, it has G-Sync, it has a 4 millisecond gray to gray time, and it is 144 hertz. Now, I'm about to give you the short take, the little one paragraph review, and if that's all you want to hear, cool, you guys can listen to that, then you can bounce, maybe even hit the like button on your way out. So chances are you have already heard about this monitor before. Chances are pretty good. This monitor has been on the market for a while. I want to say it's been on the market since April of 2015, April or May at least. And I'm doing this review in November. So chances are pretty good that you guys have already heard about this. Everything you heard is pretty much true. It's beautiful. It looks really good. It brings games to life in a way that I've never seen before. It has one input for display port. That's it. That's all you get. No HDMI, no DVI, nothing else. Just one display port. I don't even think it has speakers on it. It does have a USB hub. I believe it's USB 3.0. I'm not sure all the stats on that though. So it does have one downfall though. And for me, the motion blur and the ghosting on this monitor is a little too much. Now, why is that? I don't really know. But I do get headaches within the first 5 to 10 minutes every time I play on the monitor. So for me, as beautiful as this is, and despite the fact that honestly a lot of games look better on this monitor than I've ever seen them look anywhere else, it's not a good fit for me. So that's the short version. The long version, it's still going to be shorter than my long video for this. I made a much longer video. This is basically all my cliff notes condensed. But that's the short version. It's very beautiful. It has one input. I already told you the specs. Oh, it's 27 inches. Everything that you've heard about it is true. By the way, it does have a monitor mount, the stand. The word is escaping me, but the stand for it. It goes up and down. It rotates 90 degrees. It's got some tilt to it. Yeah, it's cheap. It's chintzy. It very easily comes off balance. It makes you think it could fall over. It's too glossy. It's a fingerprint magnet. All those things that you heard are true too, but it's actually got a really useful amount of travel when it goes up and down. It actually goes all the way down. And at the end of the video, when I show you how I have this on my desk and how it looks in relation to other monitors I have on the desk, you'll see why I appreciate the fact that it goes all the way down. It's actually a really nice touch for me. The screen goes all the way down and touches the base. So there you go. Those are the short and condensed facts about the monitor. Now, where do I go from here? That's a great question. So let me just try to tell the short little story of my journey with this monitor. This monitor has been advertised pretty much on YouTube by all of the tech tubers as being this perfect monitor, that there's no compromises. It has G-Sync, it has IPS, it has these great viewing angles. And yeah, the viewing angles on this are money. The viewing angles are fantastic, guys. I mean, I cannot praise the viewing angles enough. I come from pretty much strictly TN gaming monitors. I've used IPS for productivity and everything, but all of my high refresh rate and gray to gray time being 1 millisecond, all that jazz, that has always been TN. So it is magnificent to play on this IPS monitor and enjoy the angles. So anyway, everyone says that there's no compromises, and I don't find that to be true. there does seem to be a certain amount of motion blur and ghosting that I have trouble tolerating. Now, I'm really sensitive to those things. If you are not sensitive to those things, then it's probably not going to be an issue to you. If you've used other monitors which supposedly have ghosting or motion blur or anything like that, and they didn't cause any problems for you, then this monitor should be fine for you. But for me, I'm very, very sensitive to it. So despite the fact that this looks so pretty, I am probably going to stick with TN for now. And like I said, I made a much longer video. I made a huge, I think it might have been an hour, maybe even longer than an hour. And I was showing in that video different games, because what I like to do with my videos and my reviews is I like to show my work. If I say that a game or a monitor or a piece of equipment or hardware does something, I like to show it in action. Unfortunately, that takes time. So I was showing different scenarios and games, and it took a long time. So this is just the condensed facts. So yeah, it's beautiful, as I repeat myself over and over again. Another thing that it does really well is it does depth perception like a champ, if that makes sense. Everything in the 3D world, you can really tell where it is. Now, I love my TN monitors. I really do. I don't hate TN. A lot of people hate TN. I actually don't. But one thing that TN does not do as well as this monitor, now, is it because it's IPS? Is it because of some kind of technology Acer put in it? I have no idea. But the way the buildings are on the screen for me, and maybe not for you because you're watching a video of a monitor, but the way all the buildings and the items are placed, I can really tell where they are in a 3D spatial manner, if that makes sense. So it makes it easier for me to do, like I'm probably gonna screw this up, but it makes it easier for me to just decide, hey, I want to go fly under something. And chances are I'm not going to actually get stuck on the environment like on my TN panel, because I have a much better understanding of the 3D environment. Now, on top of that, I am playing with G-Sync, and when you play with G-Sync, it gets rid of input lag. A lot of people, because I normally use V-Sync, and a lot of people will tell you that V-Sync causes input lag. Now, I've never done any kind of scientific testing, but I believe it does. It's a pretty common consensus. And another thing is, I seem to be able to control my characters better in games on this monitor. So I appreciate the G-Sync. I appreciate the way it does depth. In The Witcher 3, even the way it does trees and things like that in the forest look really, really nice and really pleasing. So everything's just good on the monitor. Colors are good. Items are good. Objects are good. The 3D spatial awareness, all of it is very good. The smoothness, the motion, everything is very pleasant. I'm not even sure if it's 100% the motion blur or the ghosting that causes headaches for me when I play on this monitor, but I definitely do get headaches when I use this monitor. I mean, I have gone through a great deal of effort to test that. You guys have to understand, I bought this monitor thinking it was the best monitor on the market. I actually researched it for 2 or 3 months. If you guys are watching this video now, some of you might be researching it. It's a $700 to $800 monitor, so I'm sure some of you are watching this video so you can research it maybe. And I did that. I watched every YouTube video I could find on this monitor. I read all the reviews on Amazon. By the way, pretty much the only bad reviews on Amazon that I found were the ones where people got broken monitors. I think my monitor came to me not broken. It came to me dirty though. The screen was really, really gross. It had uneven smears on it, like weird swirly patterns. I wanted to make a video of that, but it was hard to kind of